Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our Meet the Founder series, 10 Questions With, where we take this opportunity to meet some of the B2B portfolio founders and find out about their journeys and what they've been up to. Today, I'm joined by Larisa from Nation.Better. Thank you so much for being here, Larisa.
Thank you for inviting me.
So if anyone's watched these before, we always go right back to the beginning, which probably feels like a long time for you now, Larisa, where you first came up with this idea. But I'd love to hear a little bit about that. Where did the idea for Nation.Better come from and where did it all begin?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess during my lifetime, I just moved a lot, either for traveling or work or studies. And everywhere I went, I needed a visa because I'm from Siberia, from Russia, and every single Russian citizen needs all of the visas in the world to get to the countries. So yeah, so unfortunately for me, I experienced a lot of admin heavy processes in order for me to get to countries and, for different purposes. So I guess it's a huge pain for a lot of people around the world if they want to travel or immigrate to other countries for work, studies, you name it. And specifically for companies as well, when they hire international talent, it's a huge pain. So I think that's why idea came to life and Nation.Better was born. So yeah, so it's been quite an exciting journey so far.
For sure, especially coming from that kind of lived experience of the issue.
Exactly.
From that, what do you hope the Nation.Better will change?
Sure. So I think because we're focusing currently on B2B markets, so we are helping companies to hire international talent. So there is a lot of stigma around immigration in general because of news headlines and other really bad news associated with immigration. But actually, specifically with companies hiring outside of the UK, it's a huge opportunity for them to tap into the best world talent. There is so many great talent outside of the UK, and a lot of companies kind of reluctant doing this just because of immigration. So we want to change this obviously through technology. Technology is not necessarily answer to all of the questions because industry in general is quite knowledge heavy, so knowledge intensive. But we're trying our best, and we hope that we definitely redefine how industry works and how it can improve and simplify the process for companies and candidates as well coming to the UK.
I think in that, you've mentioned a few different people involved, especially in a process that's traditionally very admin heavy, both the company and the candidate. Could you tell us a little bit more about who Nation.Better is designed for and who you're hoping to help through it?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, we're focusing on companies currently either thinking about sponsoring or using this route to hire talent, and obviously candidates themselves as well, because for a lot of migrants, including myself, it's quite a stressful process where you need support as much as you can get. So it's for me personally, I guess it's really important to make sure that when candidates come to the UK, they're supported. They can integrate in society much quicker. So we educating them as well as their employers to make sure that the whole journey, as for candidates as well as for the employers, is smooth and efficient and enjoyable. It's not necessarily enjoyable, but they can basically be supported and feel safe.
That sounds so important, and I think something that like your work, one more barrier is just something you want to get over, right?
Exactly.
So what makes Nation.Better different from anything else out there? Is anyone else trying to do stuff like this in this field?
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, I guess we're the first startup that is doing this specifically in this field. So there are obviously a lot of competition or other companies who is doing this around the world. But every single market, let's say, is different. So we are, let's say, competing with more offline service providers in the space. And reason being is typically law firms don't have necessarily a lot of funds to sponsor or rather support their development activities and develop technology. It obviously takes a lot of expertise as well, which they don't necessarily have, and a lot of money as well. So, and we obviously differentiate ourselves because of technology, because this is a great enabler for simplification and optimization.
Amazing. And are there any success stories you can share about the impact you've had so far?
Yeah, sure. So actually, so since last July, when we launched our platform, so we already onboarded 60 companies that are using the service, and we're really seeing such a huge shift in mindset, specifically from HR professionals, because prior using our platform, they were thinking about immigration as a huge undertaking for them because they were not necessarily equipped to do this. Either they never had experience with it, or they had experience, but not necessarily a good one. But, after using our service, they actually coming back saying, well, actually, we decided to hire more people because with you guys, it's much, it's very easy. And it's like, you're such a great partner and great company that we like really want to, explore more. And there is such a huge skill shortage as well in the market at this moment. So some companies actually have to do this because they're pressured to go outside of the UK because they can't hire internally. So,
I mean, what amazing feedback to get. That's great. Well, I guess I'd love to know more about your experience as a founder. So what has been the hardest lesson that you've had to learn in running a startup?
I think the hardest one was that whatever you think is going to happen never happens the way that you plan it to happen. So I think this is very important lesson that you need to be open-minded in terms of the opportunities that come your way, in terms of challenges that you face as a founder every single day. There are so many things that go wrong and so many things that go well. So you can't, you just need to be prepared to be quite agile in your mindset to make sure that you're adapting to situation in the proper manner and don't necessarily feel bad about it because, mental health basically. So just thinking about that, you can't like, foresee everything and control everything. So I think being open to different scenarios is a great kind of quality to have, I guess.
I think that's very good advice, especially for early stage companies who so much can happen. So like kind of, I guess, related to dealing with all of that, what 3 qualities do you think make a successful founder?
I think the first one, which is, I find this very helpful for me, is passion. I guess as a founder, you just need to have this bigger vision. And it's not necessarily only for internal and personal purposes, but also for your team. Because if you're not passionate about what you do, other people not going to follow you. It's just as simple as it is. And I think having this kind of bigger vision, you don't have to be all the time excited about it. It's not like you're constantly in the state of, excitement, but it's just about seeing where you're going, like the direction that you're going. You can pivot at any time, but still probably the underlying goal that you want to achieve is still going to be that. So it's passion is the first one. So the second one, I think I mentioned this one in terms of being open-minded. And I think another one is also investing in your growth. I think learning a lot as a founder, I think this is something very important. And I do this on a daily basis because you need to progress in your vision. You need to progress. You can't be stale. So making sure that you grow as a founder. And I think the third one would be, I guess, being compassionate and empathetic towards your team, towards your clients, and yourself as well. Because you never know what people are going through. So having this quality and kind of empathize with people, I think it's a must.
I think those are also great just to kind of keep you to take on board as to the kind of different aspects that running a startup will throw at you. I guess one of my favorite questions in this whole series, because I get to hear about what other companies are out there. But other than Nation.Better, are there any other tech for good companies that you admire?
Definitely. So I'm a big fan of Olio. So I'm using that app because I think food waste is such a huge problem in general. So I'm using quite often that app. I'm really passionate about environment in general, so I think it's a really great cause. And obviously there are female-led companies as well, so it's great to see women succeed in the tech industry. So it's kind of great role models, I guess, in the industry in general.
So. No, that's so great. And so back to Nation.Better and what your kind of mission is all about. If anyone did want to find out more about the immigration process in the UK, is there anywhere you'd signpost them?
Yeah, sure. Our website.
That's very handy.
So if you go to nation.better.uk, you can book a consultation with our experts and learn about more. Because actually it's really important to understand the circumstances of the companies or candidates, and we can help you with this. So you're going to be in good hands.
I think really flagging that consultation service is great, because you can, I imagine just Googling it would give you a slew of information, and it's hard to see wood for the trees. So actually being able to know that you can talk to someone and figure it out is something I think is really valuable.
Yeah.
And I guess lastly, what is next for Nation.Better, and how can people help if anyone's listening?
Yeah, sure. So we have in works a lot of exciting news coming, hopefully soon. So there are so many developments that we're working on, and obviously we're growing as a company in terms of headcount and what services we're providing to our customers. We're improving our platform, we're adding new features. So there's so much work going on. So we're hoping to release more kind of good news to our customers and broader kind of customer base pretty soon. And in terms of how people can help, obviously word of mouth never hurts. So if someone needs any kind of help with immigration related activities, just let us know and we'll be happy to help.
I think this is such a good resource for people to know about. So I'm sure that word of mouth will definitely get around. That brings us to the end of this quick fire interview. I've loved hearing more about Nation.Better and what you do and what your ambitions are and how you got here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Liv. Thank you for having me.